Instagram, the reason I love it is it's very visual. There's, you know, to my knowledge, there's not an algorithm, so it's not based on, you know, certain posts or certain, you know, features. It's just you scroll through the pictures, people see them, and people like your photos. So you can get a lot of content in that people will see. It's free. So if you don't have a, you know, a large budget to pay for marketing, I love the fact that it's free. You can get a highly targeted audience. Like you said earlier, with hashtags, which we'll go over in a little while, and you know, one of my favorite secret hashtag strategies that I doubt most people even know about. It's global. I actually had someone earlier today, I shared, you know, a photo about our webinar tonight, and someone from Japan said they'll be tuning in. And I'm not sure what their time zone is, but I thought that was pretty cool. You know, so it's global. Not everyone is on Instagram yet. You know, there's a huge audience that's not even on there yet, you know, and marketers, as Gary Vee tends to say, we ruin everything because we, you know, we get in there and we want to just, you know, show everyone our business, and we want to show you guys what we're doing. So I think being kind of ahead of the game and ahead of everyone else, you get to be one step ahead. So that was when I, you know, when I started with our program and our system, and I started using Instagram, I was like, wow, this is amazing. Not everyone's on here yet, and still, you know, I started maybe a year ago. And still to this day, there's a lot of people that are, you know, are not utilizing Instagram yet. So you have a huge audience that you can really, you know, get to, and, you know, not have to compete with quite as many people and not quite as many marketers. So I'm going to go over some strategies and some things that you guys can use and on Instagram. So this is the first register screen, and bear with me a little bit. If you guys want, I'd normally say, you know, put away your phones, get rid of all the distractions, but if you guys want, if you have an Instagram, I would suggest pulling out your phone so you can kind of follow along. It was a little difficult to put this together because everything is on the phone, so I can't, you know, do a screen share like I would with, let's say, Facebook. So kind of follow along, and we'll go from here. So you can register with your Facebook. I'm going to go through some basics. What are all the buttons, features, settings, adding photos, commenting, your profile, and a lot more. I'm going to get through some of the basics fairly quickly, so that way we can get to some of the more advanced stuff. Uploading a photo should be fairly easy, and some of the other things. It's just a matter of kind of going in there and kind of messing around with it also, and, you know, playing with the buttons. What does this do? What does that do? Here's some, actually, let me skip 1 second. Can you see this Instagram basics? Can you see this, Lisa?
Yes, I see it.
All right, awesome. So I'm going to go through some of the photos and just go through the buttons really quickly, so that way when you guys are following along, you kind of know what buttons I'm referring to, since, again, I can't share it on the actual computer screen, just I had to upload photos. So this is what your profile looks like. You have your picture, you have your posts, followers, following, an edit profile button, your settings button at the top here, and then you have your bio. And you have a link that you can put in. We'll go over that in a little while too. At the bottom, this is how you view your photos. This is, you know, kind of a collage, and then this is one by one. This is where everything is geotagged. So let's say you check in at a restaurant or you check in at an event, and we'll go over all these in a little bit more detail. And this is if someone tags you in something, this little button right here. Your home screen, where everyone else's photos show up if you're following people. This is your search and explore button. This is where we'll go over hashtags and finding people to engage with. This big blue button at the bottom, that's how you upload photos and videos. This is where your, I guess, notifications would be, this little heart circle thing. And then this is, far right button is your profile. So when you click edit your profile, this is what you're going to see. So here for me, and I have an iPhone, so I'm not exactly sure how it looks for everyone else, but I usually add a little follow with a, you know, emoji. This is your username. This is the link you can put in. So you can either put in your Facebook, you can put in an opt-in page, you can put in a YouTube video, just about anything you want, whatever you want here for the link, and then this is your bio. I like to keep it simple. what I like, and I always include my email as well, so that way people can email me if they have questions. The Explore button, this little star button at the bottom, this is what they call the popular page. So people who, Justin Bieber or Jay-Z, or people who are really popular and get a lot of likes end up on the popular page. And this is also where you can search for users and hashtags. And again, we'll go over all that stuff a little bit later. This heart circle where your notifications is, if you click the following button at the top, you can see everyone what they're following, who they're liking, pretty much your news feed basically, if it were to look like Facebook. Well, what people are doing on Instagram. And then to the right is your news. So this is people who have liked, commented, and followed on your stuff. Now let me know if for some reason I'm going too fast. I kind of want to get through some of this basic stuff so we can get into a lot more content and a lot more of the advanced stuff too. And when you
no, you're fine. You're fine.
Perfect. When you click options within your profile settings, this is what it looks like. You'll see find, follow people, posts that you've liked, and you can get into the privacy settings and not share what the posts you've liked. There's a follow people button which you connect to Facebook, and that'll come up in a little bit too. So you can actually connect it to your Facebook and find friends that way. So here you'll see these are going to be all your Facebook friends, and there's a follow all button, and we'll get into that a little bit later too, and how to effectively use that. And one of the common things that people do wrong when starting their first Instagram page. Not that anything's bad, but if we can teach you how to set it up the right way from the get-go, it's always going to be an advantage. And back to the user search. In that search feature that I mentioned earlier, this is your search bar. So you can search users or you can search hashtags. So this is where your hashtags come up. So any particular niche that you're looking for, this is where you would go. So then once you go to that niche, you'll see a bunch of pictures will come up. And you can look at them from a collage style, or you can look at them one by one, depending on what you're doing. If you're engaging with people, I would say go one by one. And yeah, I had to throw in a picture of my dogs. This is where once you upload the photo, when you push that little blue button at the bottom, this is what it'll look like. So you have all your filters at the bottom. You have a little function here that'll kind of change the aspect of what the picture looks like. You can add a border. You can add some, filters here. And just kind of play with it. That's just part of, getting in there and utilizing the app yourself and finding what works for you. And then this is the next place it'll go to, which is where you would write down, like, basically how you would post on Facebook. And this is, you can add hashtags in here also. And I'll get into my hashtag strategy and why I don't add tons of hashtags right away. You can add them right away. I think it's a little bit different from Facebook versus Instagram, because I think people are don't want you to post quite as many hashtags on Facebook versus Instagram. And then also there's share buttons if you want to share it straight to Twitter, which is usually what I do. I'm not as active on Twitter, but I figure I might as well post automatically to it since I'm not as active on it. There's also direct message. So if I wanted to send that picture to my followers, I just click that button at the bottom here, share. If I want to send it to someone directly, I'd click this direct button at the top. And this is a brand new feature, so we're not going to get into this too much today because I'm still not sure how I exactly want to use it. I've tried a couple things, but haven't found out a great method of using it yet, because you have to post a picture to someone. So you can't just message someone like you do on Facebook. It actually has to be a picture. So that's something you can kind of, mess around with, make conversations with people, but that's the new direct message feature. Comments. So when you leave comments, this is what it looks like, or if you're adding hashtags later. You can also swipe to the left, and that's your reply and your delete button. So if you post a comment and you want to delete it, or you post a picture and you didn't like, the comment that you posted along with your picture, you don't actually have to delete your entire picture. You can just swipe and delete your comment and repost the comment or hashtags or whatever you're posting. These are your share settings, push notifications. If you want to save your photos to your phone, this is video settings. And then your share settings. If you want to share directly to Tumblr, to your email, to Facebook, you just click it and it'll link up to your Facebook. And those are pretty much the buttons. So let's get back to some of the good stuff. Hopefully that wasn't too quick for you guys. You can always go back to it later. Where are we? All right, getting started. So whenever I tell someone that they're going to start a profile from scratch, whether it's personal or business or a combination of both, if you're starting from scratch, my recommendation is to add maybe 15 or 30 pictures right off the bat. So before you follow anyone, before you like any photos, before you do anything, add pictures. Why? I've had people add me and they have 0 pictures. I tend not to follow them back because their page looks dead. I don't know if they're a spammer. I don't know if they're a fake profile. I don't know who they are or what they do because their profile is completely blank. So my recommendation is to get started and set your foundation correctly the first time instead of having to go back later and after you've followed people and they probably didn't follow you back because it looked dead. So my recommendation is add 30 pics, add your description and bio, include your email, a link, and your profile picture. And whether you're choosing to do personal or business, make sure you're engaging with people in the correct fashion. So when you're engaging with people, this is my typical strategy. If I'm finding a niche, let's just use blogging for example, I'll add a photo about whatever my niche is, and then I'll go to the Explore feature, I'll search that hashtag, and then that's when I start engaging with people. Because whatever my most recent photos are is probably what people are going to see first. So if I post something about animals, my last 3 pictures are about animals or my pets or whatever, and then I go engage with people who are foodies or people that like to post pictures about food, they may or may not follow me because maybe they have no interest in pets. So I'll choose whatever my most recent photos are. That's the people that I'm going to target when I go engage with them. So if I just post a picture about, our webinar that we're doing, like here on the right, I just posted that picture, I would go explore people that might be interested in my webinar or whatever it is that I'm doing. So that way people can get more engaged with what I posted and the niche that they're in. So hopefully that kind of makes sense. And you can actually go into here and you can like by double tapping the photo. You can follow people or you can comment. Typically what I've found is that likes get some engagement, followers get a little bit more engagement, and commenting gets even more engagement. So people tend to go and follow you, engage with you more based on those different things. So I try and do all of the above. You also don't want to, I mentioned it a little bit later, but you also don't want to do these things too fast. I know that sounds funny, but when I first started on Instagram, I was like, well, I'm just going to go like, follow, and comment on everything. And I would just sit there and, spend 20 minutes going as fast as I could, liking and following and commenting. And what ended up happening was Instagram basically said, you know what, that's enough. We think you're a robot and you're abusing our system. So I built this, page up to maybe 1,400 people and ended up having to shut it down because I was doing things a little too fast. So I try and now set things in increments. I mean, you can go somewhat fast, but just be aware of what you're doing. So basically don't copy and paste, no spam, so that way it doesn't look like you're just sending the same exact thing to everyone. Engage and find out what they're doing and interact with what they're doing. And also, no links. This isn't your profile. One of the things that I think bugs me the most is when people come onto my profile and tell me, hey, check out this link, or hey, check out my business. So no spam. Let's, So one of the next features that I like is geotagging. And geotagging is once you're about to post your pictures and you write your caption, let's say you're at a restaurant or you're at an event, you can click this add photo to map button on and then name the location you're at. So when you get in there, you can search for the location or you can create your own. So you can do events, you can do webinars, food restaurants, or even team meetings. And if it doesn't show up, you can create it your own, or one of the other things I like to do is add your website. So you can actually type in your website there and it'll pop up once you post the pictures. And this is a great way for people to find you. So if you've checked into something that someone is searching for, your picture may come up and it's a great way for people to find you. Because one of the things that I like about Instagram is, although I'm proactive, you don't always have to be proactive. A lot of people with these strategies can come and find you. And ultimately, as a marketer, as a business person, entrepreneur, that's what you want. You want people coming after you versus you having to chase people down and saying, buy this, join me, or whatever it is that you're doing. So this is another great way for people to, come find you and what you're doing. Hashtags. This is where the magic happens. And this is one of my favorite things to do, is utilize hashtags to get people to come follow me. So hashtags, as Lisa kind of explained earlier, are keywords, and basically keywords within niches. So blog, you can go after bloggers, blogging, health and fitness, pets. You can be as specific or as general as you want to be. Food, specific places. I hashtag tacos. If you check out my profile, like, I love tacos, I love food. So for me, I try and be personal and business as well, because I think people want to see the real you and what you're doing. And I'll get into that a little bit later as well. But hashtags, this would probably be, if I had to focus on anything, this would be my biggest focus, would be hashtags. Because the possibilities, you can find any keyword in there. So I don't care what you do, what your niche is, what you're looking for. It could be fashion, it could be jewelry, it could be a store, it could be a location, luxury homes, whatever your keyword you want to be, put that in the little keyword search and go find those people in that niche and go engage with them. Because that's ultimately what you want to do, is find specific keywords in your niche. And when you're adding a photo, you can include hashtags in the descriptions. I kind of went over earlier. One of the reasons I particularly don't like adding, you can add up to 30 hashtags, as you can see here. But one of the cool things is you can actually go back to old photos and add more hashtags. So what I do is I may post, as you can see my picture, and post, maybe 1, 2, 3, maybe even 4 or 5 hashtags that have to do with that picture. Make them somewhat specific, make them, general. As you can see here, success, money, networking, stay-at-home mom, no 9 to 5, paid while sleeping, motivation. So whatever your hashtag is, keep it simple. I wouldn't put I am motivated, because most likely people aren't searching for I am motivated. They're searching for motivation or motivational quotes or networking. So if you make the hashtag too long, people aren't really going to find it. And this will get you engagement, followers, likes, comments, and potential leads. Because as you start to post more, stuff about your business, or if you're at an event or whatever it is that you're doing, people will see that and people will start to interact with you. So let's get to some of the good stuff too. How to get leads on Instagram. And I can show, let me see if I can show you real quick. Hold on real quick. Just going to show you a couple of the results I've got. And and where I started and kind of where I'm going. As you can see, when I started back in December, or actually, sorry, this is January of 2013, my list was nothing. I was literally struggling to get leads. Like, I didn't know what I was doing, you know, and I went through a lot of the trainings, and I was like, you know, how can I utilize these trainings and apply them to Instagram, which is what I'm going to show you. So I started applying these trainings, and my list literally went from nothing to hundreds, as you can see, in a matter of weeks and days. And that was just by being consistent. And, you know, open rates were good, 36%, 44%, 35%. And again, this was new to me. So I had to go and figure this out on my own. And now I'm sharing it with you guys so you guys can really start implementing these ideas and these strategies. And there's, you know, some days where I literally had 57 new leads. Or sorry, that's in a week. I apologize. But, you know, I try and get on average 10 a day. And
hey,
Nicole, it didn't happen.
Nicole,
yeah.
Let me ask you a question. What slide are you on? Does it say how to get leads and then it says bullet points like make it simple for your followers? Because that's what I see.
You can't see the picture that I brought up?
No, I see it's like stuck on the slide that says how to get leads.
Hold on, I'm going to try and bring the other back up for you. I apologize. I don't know why it's sticking to one thing. So you can see me, right?
I can see you, yep.
All right, let me.
It kind of got stuck on that one slide for a second.
Yeah, I'm not sure why. I apologize. Normally when I share my screen, it'll just go to whatever I'm doing. So thank you for the heads up. But this was the picture that I was on, so I apologize. I'll backtrack. So when I first started at the end of January, you know, I was getting leads, 13 here, 24, 25, but it just, something wasn't connecting. So I basically went through the training and was like, how can I utilize this within Instagram? And so I started applying some of the strategies that I'm sharing with you guys, and my list really started to take off. So that's what I was sharing here. I'm
still not seeing a wide screen of something. I see a bunch of boxes. I heard you click on something, but I don't think anything opened.
Huh. Why is that? Did you just have this problem? So you're just seeing my pictures, but you're not seeing when I open the picture.
I see your mouse moving now, and I see you're hovering over the 1 month email list.
Yeah, but when I click the 1 month email list, it's not coming up?
No.
Okay. Let me see if I can make this bigger then. And we'll adjust. And so you probably can't see it, and I apologize for that. I'm not sure why it's not going through. But down here, basically, I'm trying to show you my email, and it went from literally next to no subscribers, and once I got up here, it's in like the 200 to 250 subscribers range. And that was in a matter of like a week or two. So I was basically just trying to show you guys some of the results that you guys can get just by applying these strategies daily. So, I guess I can't really click these, so I'll just try and go along with you guys. Let me go back to the PowerPoint. Sorry, I apologize, it's not going through. Can you see my PowerPoint now?
Yeah, and it's okay, Nicole. You're doing great.
All right, awesome. As long as I get you guys the content, that's what I'm focused on. So that way you can start applying these strategies. So how to get leads. Make it simple for the people that are following you. Sometimes I'll see people post links, and the link has 20 numbers in it, a couple words. And the thing with Instagram is the links don't work in your comments. Hopefully that's something that they change. But as you can see here, if I post a link, it comes up just as a text. So I try and make everything simple that if someone was interested in what I was doing, they could just go type it on their phone if they had to. So for instance, instantentrepreneur.com, that's what I use to share with people about, this webinar. So when I got in there, I'm not going to use something that, is too difficult for people to have to type in on their own. So I try and keep it simple. I've always put a call to action. So want more followers? Go to, and then you post your link. Or you can always put, if you need, XYZ, email me at. So sometimes I'm sharing my results and my strategies, and I'm telling people exactly what I want them to do. And this is something that we kind of get into more in the 15K is, you know, calls to action and effective calls to action. But as long as you make it simple for people when you're posting, I think that's ultimately what people want to see. If you make it too complicated or you make this, you know, I've also seen people post and they have literally 2 paragraphs worth of stuff that they posted. Nobody's going to read that. Nobody's going to go through that. You know, max maybe 3 to 4 lines of what you want to portray to your audience, whatever that may be. So, you know, I like to share results. So whether it's, you know, one of the photos that I showed you earlier that I can't get to, but I like to show results. I like to show event photos. I like to show if I travel. I also throw up personal stuff too, so people can really see what I'm doing and about me and who I am. So results, event photos, you know, just share with people what you're doing. And also, like I said earlier, share something specific to the niche that you're targeting. So whether you're doing a business page specific to, let's say, bloggers, then share stuff specific to that niche. Or if you're someone like me that posts personal and business stuff, what I'll do is post a couple photos of whatever I'm trying to target, and then go target those people so the first few photos they see are things that I'm trying to target. So hopefully that makes sense as well. And like I said, direct them to something simple and easy to type link, or send them to an email or your Facebook. So in this comment I might say, you know, if you have questions about this, or this is, you know, this is something you enjoy, go here, email me. Go to Facebook. You know, do you want to learn how to effectively get leads on Instagram? Email me at XYZ. Go to this link. Message me on Facebook. Direct them exactly what you want them to do, and make it easy and make it simple. And utilize the 15K formula. Let's see if I get into that in the next. So once you're going through this part, and you're starting to get those leads, utilize the 15K formula along with this. So you can direct those leads. So once you start to get those leads, you want to convert those leads into sales. So when you get those leads, direct them to webinars like this. So you have your follow-up messages and the stuff that we go over in the 15K formula training, and get them to opt in through that link that you shared, or the email, when you can email them back and say, hey, you know what, you check this info out, or whatever your particular follow-up series is for people. That's what you want to direct them to, and make it specific to what you're talking about. So if you say, hey, do you want to check out this webinar, email me here, and then you start pitching them on something completely different, it doesn't make sense to people. So whatever you tell them to do, make sure your follow-up is congruent with what you're telling them to do. And that's something that we go over in the 15K formula as well. So one of the reasons I started getting a lot of leads and sales within Instagram is I took these strategies that we're going over, and the strategies within the 15K formula, like Aaron Rashkin and Tony Rush's email marketing, and I pretty much combined them and started killing it on Instagram. Like I'm literally getting leads and signups fairly easily. Is there still work involved? Of course. You know, you have to go, like I said, set the foundation and go through these steps so that you get the result that you're looking for. But if you combine these things all together, you're going to kill it in your business. Just apply and do it daily. And you can also, you know, contact the lead via Facebook. So sometimes what I'll do is, let's say there's a slow day where you only got 5 leads, 10 leads, whatever it is. I know there's some people that get 100 leads a day. So this might not be an effective strategy for someone that gets 100 leads a day. But on those slow days where maybe you're getting 5 leads or 10 leads, take that email that they opted in with and go find them on Facebook and message them on Facebook. So that way you're following up with them and you're presenting, you know, something personable, and you're able to have a direct conversation with that person. So that's basically how I, you know, do it. Is I go through those steps and get the leads, and then I follow up with them, and I go, you know, get them to opt in or get them to email me, whatever your particular strategy is. One of the things that I've found that works better for me on Instagram is emailing. I'll more often than not tell them to email me at whatever my email is that I'm getting them to go to. And then from there, send them your opt-in link, send them your information, or whatever it is that you're wanting to do from there. Because the link, people go, it's a little bit different on Instagram because it's not a direct link. So I try and get them to email me first. So that's what I've found that works better for me. But whatever works for you, experiment, try both, and you'll kind of figure out what works good. So I'm going to go over a few do's and don'ts on Instagram, some of the things that I think people should do, and some of the things that get on my nerves that people do to me and that I don't think is beneficial. We want to keep Instagram something that everyone wants to use. So we don't want to chase all the potential prospects away because we're, spamming people and making it an annoying platform. We want people to enjoy what we're doing. So some do's and don'ts: make it simple. Like I've said tons of times, don't make it difficult for people to find out what you're doing. Use screenshots. So like I'll go on my phone and I'll go to, let's say, the webinar link, and I'll take a screenshot of our webinar with the info. And then I'll post with that, hey, go to this link or email me. And that way people see exactly what's coming up. So I take screenshots of webinars. I take shots of sales funnels. So let's say you have a sales funnel that's Facebook training, how to get leads on Facebook, or how to get leads on Instagram. Whatever your sales funnel or your training is, go to that, take screenshots of your sales funnels. And then also you can take screenshots of results. So those are some definite do's along with your personal shots. I would say definitely don't, unless it's a business-specific profile, don't just inundate it with business stuff. People want to see what you're doing too. Do not spam, join me, insert your link here. People don't like that, especially when it's on their profile. So don't go to everyone's profile and try and tell them what to do. Because I don't know about you guys, but I don't like that. I don't like when people come onto my profile and post their phone number, post, their links, and say, hey, join my business. This is my profile, not yours. So when you're engaging with people, make it genuine. Don't just post your link or go to their profile and say, follow me, check my bio. Like, those are things that absolutely get on my nerves, to be honest, when someone comes onto my profile and comments on my photos or my business stuff and says, hey, follow my profile, hey, check my bio. So be aware of and be courteous to people in their profiles, because that is their profile. Also, don't tag people in your pictures if it's not related to them. I showed you that little button earlier. I'm not sure if you remember it. But you can tag people in your pictures, which is great. I'd say go ahead and tag people in your pictures if it relates to them. Or, that's one of your team members, or that's someone that's helping you with your business, or you're helping them with their business, or whatever it is. I think those things are great to tag people in, but don't sit there and tag random people in your business opportunity pictures. Nobody likes spammers. Also, I kind of went over it briefly. Links don't work on Instagram posts, so make them small, make them easily readable so that people can type them in. Include calls to actions, and not every single post. You don't need to be pushy every single post. Following and engage. So be authentic with people. Like I said earlier, people want to see exactly what you're doing. And lastly, do use the secret hashtag strategy. So you guys want to see this secret hashtag strategy that I use that you can literally pick up tons of engagement from?
Yes, please.
So my secret hashtag strategy, this is literally, aside from a handful of people that have paid me directly to help them with their Instagram strategies, this is what I do. I have not shared this with anybody. So you guys are the first to see it. So I think everyone's going to be a little jealous that they weren't on this webinar. So one of the things you can do that I'm pretty sure most people don't know about is you can actually go back to old posts and delete your comment or delete your hashtags. As you can see here, remember I showed you how to delete things, and you can re-add up to 30 hashtags. So remember when I said earlier, don't post, 30 hashtags when you post your pictures. For me, I prefer not to post all 30 hashtags right away. That's what Instagram allows you, up to 30 hashtags in one post. But the cool thing is you can go back and you can delete those 30 hashtags you used, and you can add them again. So when you add, let me do all right, you guys aren't going to be able to see my other thing, but basically what happens is if you go search a hashtag, let's just say success, you go search that hashtag, you'll see all those pictures pop up with anyone else that has hashtagged the word success. Well, what tends to happen is those pictures eventually go down. Just like in your Facebook newsfeed, nobody engages with it, nobody does anything, it goes away. Well, with Instagram, every time someone posts a picture with a particular hashtag, everything gets shoved down, right? So what you want to do is when you go back to your old pictures and you post those hashtags again, your stuff will shoot right back up to the top of those hashtags. So when you're searching, you might see that first or second picture that you click on, and maybe that's a post from a week ago and not a recent picture because you went in there and you deleted and re-added. So does that kind of make sense, Lisa?
Absolutely.
Perfect. So my strategy is to, like the other day, for instance, I went back, and again, you can't do things too fast, so especially with hashtags, you can't go back and re-add hashtags to like 15, 20 photos. You have to be a little selective, wait 20 seconds in between each one, whatever you want to do, go back to it, a minute later, 30 seconds later. But you can effectively go back to old posts and get people to engage in on those old posts just by spending 5 minutes, deleting and re-adding hashtags. And that way, maybe that post you had one set of 30 hashtags when you originally posted it, but you go back a week later and add a whole new set of hashtags. So an easy way to do this is I like utilizing the Tags for Likes app. It's a blue looking app with the hashtag on it. And you can search for it. I'm sure it'll come up pretty quickly in your apps. But it's called Tags for Likes. You can literally copy and paste, and so that way it's not taking you forever. Oh my gosh, I got to retype 30 hashtags all at once. Because at first I was, that's what I was doing at first. So you guys are learning from my mistakes and getting the fast track, because that was a pain in the ass to go through and go back and retype hashtags. So you can use Tags for Likes. You can also, something that I do is I'll add that set of tags that I use, those 30 tags, into my notepad on my phone. And then I can just go in there and copy and paste and bring your stuff back up, so that way you constantly creating that engagement and getting people to follow and like you. Be consistent, and again, don't go too fast. They're just like Facebook jail, there's also Instagram jail. Lastly, so remember that follow all button, and this is the reason that we set that foundation correct from the beginning. So after you add those, your initial set of photos to make your page look active, and you can also go in there and, in the beginning when you don't have friends or don't have followers, and add those hashtags, you'll start to get engagement without you having to actually, be proactive in the beginning. So utilize that hashtag system that I just shared with you. Make your profile look active with pictures and, utilizing hashtags to get the engagement. And what you do is you go back to that follow all, and you go and you click the follow all button. The reason I suggest doing this last, after you've, created more engagement in your profile, one, you're following a lot of people all at once. So when people go to your profile, you want it to make it look active. So one of the common mistakes that I see people doing is joining Instagram, not doing anything with their profile, and then clicking the follow all button. Well, what happens is you just followed, 100 plus people. They went to your profile and didn't see anything. So that was your chance to kind of pick up all those followers. So that's why I really say in the beginning is to set that strong foundation of making it look active. Nobody likes an empty page or boring pages, right? So this is a much quicker way of attracting, more followers than your Facebook followers. Because you're not going to post on Facebook. Or you might, hey, follow my Instagram. So what you can do, set that foundation, and then click the follow all button. So we're just about finishing up here. So then have fun. That's really, if you're having fun on your Instagram and you're sharing who you really are, people will start engaging with you. So no spamming. Let's keep this, I'm sharing this with you guys, but I also want you guys to, I guess, respect the platform so that we can all enjoy it. Because I see a lot of people sometimes not knowing what they're doing and just going out there and spamming everyone, or going out there and being join my program, or hey, do you need this or do you need that? And it's, engage with people, ask them what they're doing, or but be you. Don't spam people. Don't, hey, join me. Let's keep this a fun platform and make it, something that everyone wants to be on. We don't want to scare everyone off of it because, like I said earlier, as marketers, we tend, all of us, to want to say, hey, I want you to join my business. I want you to do what I'm doing because it's something we're excited and passionate about. But at the same time, we don't want to scare everyone off. Make sense? So stay consistent. Even if it's just, one of my strategies is in the morning, the afternoon, and at night, 5 to 10 minutes. So it doesn't have to take all day. In the beginning, you might, like I said, you might want to spend some time adding those photos in the beginning, creating engagement. So you might sit there the first time and, spend an hour or so starting it. But after that, it's really simple and a really quick way to build your list and get leads and sales and build a following. Maybe someone doesn't want to join your business now, but maybe they want to join it in a month or 12 months. I mean, I've had people come to me months later and say, hey, I've been watching you for a while. Someone that I've never talked to, someone I've never engaged with. So you just really want to be the real you. And so that's my follow-up. Thank you guys so much. I am honored to be on this webinar tonight, and you guys, I tried to give as much value as I possibly could within the time frame that we have. If you found this webinar and what I've shared with you valuable, please show some love in the comments below. Let us know that you enjoyed it. Let us know that you found it informative. Whatever you found valuable, let us know. I appreciate you guys. Thank you very much. Back to you, Lisa.
Wow.